Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? All right.
Hi, Judge Williams.
Good afternoon.
Good
Happy
afternoon.
Friday, everyone. This
Good
is the
afternoon.
State Expedited Accusations calendar. This calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused by the Solicitor General and bound over to state court. I want to advise everyone that this proceeding is being recorded and live streamed over the internet. That means that any member of the public can log on and watch this particular proceeding just as if we were in person. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this proceeding today. Those who receive a signature bond today will be reset for the notice. Those who receive a surety or a cash bond will be reset to the SAP calendar or the state all-purpose calendar on June the 16th, 2022, where your case will be revisited at that time. All right, who do we have first?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Before you is Miss Ali, position number 1.
All right, Miss Ali. Good afternoon. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Your case is 22 CR 003487A, in which you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of May the 23rd of 2022. Do you understand those constitutional rights I just explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Who do I have from pretrial? Miss Harvey. Miss Harvey, can I have the history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. One prior arrest from 2006 out of Fulton County, that was a misdemeanor conviction for disorderly conduct. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Whose case is this for the state?
That's mine, Your Honor.
Oh, it's good to see you, Mr. Cheney. What is the state's recommendation?
State's recommendation would be a $5,000 signature bond, no contact victim, stay away from incident location, which is 5350 Bucknell Drive, Southwest Atlanta. The altercation between a girlfriend and a boyfriend as the victim was leaving the victim's residence. She put her vehicle in reverse and damaged the victim's 2021 vehicle, causing minor damage. The victim has been in contact with our office. She states she has no fear of the defendant, says that the defendant has learned a lesson and agreed to pay restitution. Victim is said to be on Zoom today. Her name is, or his name, I'm sorry, is Eric White.
Okay.
Also, Your Honor, I'm sorry, no drugs, alcohol, no weapons, no new violations.
I will hear from Mr. White. I think I saw him earlier, but Ms. McLeod, are there any objections to the state's recommendation at this time? And it's good to see you as well, Ms. McLeod. And I believe you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. It's good to see you as well. And I do have objections to the state's recommendation. My client does not have any significant criminal history at all, Your Honor. She is the mother of 3 minor children. She's gainfully employed. And she does not have any significant history of any kind of violent crimes. She is a native of Atlanta, Your Honor. She is working. And there was some degree of provocation here. She also tells me that the touching of the car was accidental. She had gone to his job to talk to him. They had been in a relationship which had ended. And she had gone to talk to him about some of her belongings, which he still had. And when she was leaving, she had put her car in reverse, and it was by accident that her car touched his. She did not intentionally damage his car.
To clarify, Mr. Cheney, your recommendation is a $5,000 signature bond. So, Ms. McLeod, you object to the signature bond itself or to the amount of the signature bond?
No, Your Honor. I thought he said he wanted a good bond. I am sorry.
No, signature bond.
I'm fine with the signature bond, Your Honor. I'm fine with the signature bond, because she doesn't have any money for a bond. That was our biggest issue.
Okay, Mr. Cheney, let's just clarify. The state's recommendation is a signature bond, correct?
That is
Okay.
correct, Your Honor, based
Oh.
on the circumstances and the
objections.
lack
I'm
of.
sorry.
Yes.
All right, Mr. White, I'd like to hear from you at this time. If you'd like to make a statement, you're not required to do so. If you'd like to do so, I have to swear you in. Do you wish to make a statement at this time? Yeah, you're muted, Mr. White.
Yes, I would like to.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear, Mr. White?
Yeah, I would just like to say on her
Wait,
behalf. Yes,
before you
I'm here.
begin,
Okay.
please raise your right hand. I need to swear you in. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under
Yes.
the penalty of perjury?
Yes. I
All right,
swear.
what would you like to tell the court at this time?
That me and Kalima has been in contact, and we've been, we've talked, and now I don't feel like no further action should be taken. She's been incarcerated for about a week or so now. I'm assuming maybe she's probably lost her job by now, and I feel like all of that has been punishment enough. And I feel like just the signature bond alone should be the final cause, because I feel like she's done her time in general.
All right, thank you, Mr. White. At this time, Ms. Ali is gonna receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. She is to stay away from the address on Bucknell Drive. That's a condition of this signature bond, and she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol at this time. Is there anything further from either the state of the defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, as far as the no contact provision, you're not putting that on the bond, is that correct?
I'm not inclined to do that at this time.
Okay, I was just had to copy it down. Thank you.
Yes, all right. All right,
Next.
I believe that concludes this case. Best of luck to you.
Next is position 16, Ms. Tillman. Position 16, Ms. Tillman.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Tillman. Your case is 22 CR 003496F, and what you're charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count of theft by taking with offense date of June the 1st of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Harvey?
9 cycles, Your Honor. A 2018 conviction out of DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting misdemeanor. An additional 2018 theft by shoplifting misdemeanor conviction. FTA from 2018. Theft by another shoplifting from 2018. There's a Cobb County theft by shoplifting. I'm sorry, Clayton County theft by shoplifting, which was first offender. That felony, that case was sealed in 2020, Your Honor. Driving without a valid license and giving a false name, address, or date of birth from 2019 out of DeKalb County. Failed to appear out of Clayton County in 2019. The defendant is on probation for battery and theft by shoplifting out of Fulton County. That's on a case number 21 CP 201734. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, so not recommended is the presumption.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mitchell, is this your case, I'm assuming?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good to see you.
Hi. In this case, the defendant battered a taxi driver, Mr. Julian Duran, spelled D-U-R-A-N, by biting his hand, causing him to bleed, leaving marks on his hand. The defendant then took $247 from Mr. Duran's front passenger compartment. This incident occurred in the presence of 2 minors. Your Honor, there's a current bond of $5,000 surety, and the state requests that that bond be adjusted as follows due to the NODs. $3,000 surety as to count 1 and $2,000 surety as to count 2. So it'll still be a $5,000 surety. No further contact with the victim, Mr. Duran. Stay away from the incident location. It occurred in front of a Chase Bank at 10900 Haynesbridge Road, Alpharetta, Georgia, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. As heard from pretrial, the defendant does have a history of theft. The allegedly open theft in 2021 with 2 simple battery charges, and then the 3 theft convictions. In addition to that, we do have flight risk concerns, being that she has 2 FTAs, one in 2019 and one in 2018. So based on that, we are recommending that bond remain $5,000 surety. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Whose case is this? Is this, oh, Ms. Kim, it's good to
Yes.
see you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your
And
Honor.
what is the defense's recommendation?
Yes, our recommendation is for signature on bond, and yet if Your Honor is not inclined to, we would like to recommend for maximum $1,000 surety bond. She is 23 years old and she has a mailing address, and she does not have. She has been here in Georgia 23 years, so she has no flight risk. Actually, she has a strong ties to the community. Her parents and siblings are here, and yet she's been looking for her job for the last 6 months due to her employment and her financial responsibility to take care of 3 children. She is going through financial hardships. So we would like to request for maximum of $2,000 total, $1,000 per charge. That will be our request. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. At this time, Ms. Tillman is going to receive a $4,000 surety bond. It will be $2,000 for the battery charge and $2,000 for the theft by taking. She is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Duran, and she must stay away from the incident location on Haynesbridge Road. She is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of her bond at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, my internet was acting up. Do you mind repeating that?
It'll be 4,000 surety,
Okay.
2,000 for each charge. And she is to have no further contact with the victim and stay away from the incident location, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Tillman. Who do we have next?
Position number 9, please, Judge, in courtroom number 3.
All right. Have we heard our rights in courtroom 3?
Yes, they did, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Good afternoon. Are you Ms. Houston?
Hi.
All right, your case number is 22 CR 003503E, in which you're charged with battery with the offense date of let's see, June the 11th of 2021. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's see, whose case is this?
That is mine, Your Honor.
All right, and let me go to Ms. Harvey first. Ms. Harvey, what is the history, please?
Okay, one moment, Your Honor. Let me locate the file. One moment, I'm sorry.
She was just in felony court if you don't have it.
Oh, that's why. Okay, 1 second. I have to run and get it from the other.
Okay, we can,
officer.
Mr. Cheney, do you have the history?
This will
yes.
take like 2 seconds.
Yes,
She's in the
Okay.
next room doing first appearance.
Okay.
I have, I think 5 cycles on that, so it's not going to be voluminous, Judge.
Okay, if you want to go ahead with your recommendation, we can do that.
Yes, Your Honor, our recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim. The victim in this case was basically grabbed by the defendant by the head, hit her right shoulder, causing a visible bite mark. The victim, though, has stated that she does not want contact and she has moved from the residence, so there will be no stay away on that case. The victim, I believe, is on Zoom. If I can check 1 second. Having a little problem with my computer, Judge. Hold on 1 second. Victim is Brianna Roy. I don't see her.
There's a Brianna Roy online. She just has to start her video if she wants to talk.
Oh, okay, I see it now. She's just not on video. Yes, Your Honor, basically that was it. As far as to stay away from the location, what I was trying to make sure of, the location is 3686 Thurman Road, South Fulton, but the victim who is on the line can reassure us that she has moved from the residence, and therefore a stay away would not be involved.
Okay,
That's our case, Your Honor.
so $3,000 surety, you're not concerned about a stay away or a no contact? Or you are asking for a no contact, Mr. Cheney?
Yes, definitely no contact, Judge, because the victim does not want contact. Basically, she said she has moved away.
Okay, Ms. Harvey, since you're back, will you please give us the history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. 5 cycles, no felony convictions. The last arrest was January 6, 2020 for driving on a suspended or revoked license out of Henry County. She received 12 months probation. Also has a 2017 conviction out of Clayton County, misdemeanor possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce. Nothing further, Your Honor. Defendant is recommended.
Okay. All right, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I would be asking the court to consider a signature bond for my client. Your Honor, she has 2 minor children for whom she's a primary caretaker, an 11-year-old and an almost 9-year-old. She works as a dental assistant and has been doing so for the past 6 years. She tells me that she also works part-time in construction because she is a widow and she has to take care of those children by herself, Your Honor. As the court has noted, she doesn't have any violent history or any family-related issues in her history. She tells me that the alleged victim is an ex, and she broke the relationship up, and she believes that this ex made up this story in order to get back at her. She was actually arrested as a result of a traffic stop. She was pulled over because she had a headlight out, Your Honor. And according to what the prosecution has stated, their allegation is that this incident happened, I believe, more than a year ago. My client does not live with this person and has not been in contact with them. Therefore, there's not much likelihood that there will be any other incidents between them. Therefore, I would ask the court to consider a signature bond for her.
Your Honor, briefly, there was a visible bite mark on the victim, which would satisfy the elements of the crime. I needed to put that on the record. Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'm going to hear from Ms. Roy. Ms. Roy, if you would like to make a statement, this is your opportunity to do so. You're not required to, however. Would you like to speak?
Yes, ma'am, I would.
Before you do, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
What would you like to tell the court at this time?
This is not a made-up story. This was not the first. I had no intentions on saying anything, but my 15-year-old daughter asked me to say something. And to hear that Risha said that I made this story up, this was not the first time Risha put her hands on me. She actually made me call my husband before jumping on me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Before she jumped on me, she made me call him so she could show him what she was doing. You know, she proceeded to, and my daughters are here as well. She proceeded to put a hammer to my MacBook Pro, my iPad, my iPhone, and busted my my daughter's iPad as well. This is not something I made up, you know, and had that lie not been told, I would have said nothing. But Risha has clearly not learned because she's still lying about it. She jumped on me and my son had to come get her off of me. My son is 16 and she has reached out to me as recently as last week. I have the screenshots. She has gone back and deleted things that she said after I took the screenshots. But this is not made up. Risha knows exactly what she did to me on the several occasions that she did as well.
All right. All right. Thank you, Ms. Roy. All right. Is there anything further from either the state or defense at this time?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Ms.
Nothing,
McLeod,
Your
anything
Honor.
from you?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, Ms. Houston is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services. She is to take a one-day anger awareness course as part of that signature bond. She is to have no contact.
Ms. Houston, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Please be quiet.
Yes, Ms. Houston, please do not respond. She has to take a one-day anger awareness course as part of that signature bond. She is to have absolutely no contact with the victim through social media, text, call. She is not to make any contact whatsoever with the victim, last name Roy. She is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond. Are there any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Houston. We can move to the next position.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position number 11 is next, please. Have a seat right there.
All right, are you Ms. Kegler?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your case is 22 CR 003500J, in which you're charged with one count of cruelty to children in the third degree and one count of battery family violence with the offense date of June the 2nd of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights? Are you saying yes? Okay, yes. All right, Ms. Harvey, can I please have the history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. One prior arrest from 2016 out of Atlanta for DUI, no disposition listed. Nothing further.
All right. Recommended?
Your Honor, to preface the recommendation, she has a co-defendant on the calendar, Ramondo Bird. I assume he's in a different part of the jail, so we could not do them at the same time. But the bond recommendation would be $3,000 surety bond, $2,000 surety on the battery family violence, $1,000 surety on the cruelty to children, no contact with victim, stay away from incident location, no weapons, drugs, alcohol, no new violations. The defendant and the victim were living together. A small child witnessed the altercation. Defendant hit the victim, scratched the victim, leaving some marks on his face.
When you say victim, Mr. Cheney, you mean co-defendant? I mean, in essence? Correct,
Your Honor. It's
okay.
I said it's victim and co-defendant Ramondo Bird, and Mr. Bird and and Ms. Kegler got into an argument and both were charged with battery family violence.
Okay. Continue. I'm sorry.
We'd also ask that as far as to stay away from the location, I think the court would need to inquire as to who's on the lease, who's staying there, from defense counsel, because we did not have any of that information as far as who owns the home. All we have is that they were living together at the time, and a small child witnessed the incident.
All right, and is that child a child that they share?
No, Your Honor.
No, that's
No,
not
Your
sure.
Honor, it just says I believe it's the child of Miss Kegler.
Okay, so that's Miss Kegler's child. Ms. McLeod, is it your understanding that this is Miss Kegler's home?
It
The
is her
incident
home, Your
location?
Honor, and she has informed me that Mr. Bird, who is an ex, has already left and has returned her key. It was her
Okay.
place. Her name is on the lease. They don't live together any longer. My client
All
is
right.
Yes, my
Go ahead,
client
Ms.
is
McLeod.
36 years old, Your Honor. She is gainfully employed with FedEx, and she has been working with them for some time now, approximately 6 years. As has been noted, Your Honor, she does not have any significant history. In fact, I believe she had one, which was not violence related. She does have a 2-year-old child for whom she's the sole caretaker. She's very concerned about that child right now because the child is actually with her mom, and her mom is in her 70s, and she's really concerned because, you know, he is quite a handful being only 2 years old. I think she's a good candidate for signature bond, Your Honor, based on her history and the allegation. She tells me that he actually attacked her and she was simply defending herself. And she was the one who called the police, Your Honor. She didn't know that she was going to end up being arrested.
All right. All right, I'm sorry, Ms. Harvey, can I have that history again, one more time?
Yes, Judge, there was
What was it?
just one prior arrest from 2016 for DUI.
Okay, Ms. Kegler is gonna receive she's gonna receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services. It's gonna be $1,000 for the cruelty and $3,000 for the battery family violence. She is to have no further contact with the co-defendant. I believe last name is Romando. She's to complete a 1-day anger awareness course. And she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond.
Thank you, Honor.
All right, is there anything further from either
Nothing from the
party?
state.
All right. All right, I believe that will conclude her case. We can move to the next position.
This is position 7, Mr. Gullen. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Gulling. Your case is 22 CR 003492G, in which you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of willful obstruction with the offense date of June the 3rd of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional right?
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Harvey?
28 cycles, Your Honor. Defendant is currently on probation for a CWEC offense. Sentenced November 19, 2018 to 8 years probation, 2 years confinement. Also for failure to register, sentenced September 14, 2017 to 5 years probation. There are 2 open cases. The first case is possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. The second case is for loitering, prowling, possession, and use of drug-related objects and entering auto. Those cases are out of Fulton County, Your Honor. In addition, there's a 2011 conviction for theft by shoplifting, misdemeanor. Also, an additional 2011 shoplifting conviction, misdemeanor. Theft by receiving stolen property, conviction out of Gwinnett County that was first offender. It was revoked in 2013 and became a conviction. Probation violation from 2011. To register, that's the case that he's on probation for.
I think
Also
that's good. Thank you,
okay.
Ms. Harvey. I think I have a good understanding. Mr. Cheney?
His last name is pronounced Guillen. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Position 7, I believe so.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had that somehow spelled wrong. $4,000 total surety bond, Your Honor, $1,000 surety on criminal trespass. I'm sorry, 3,000 surety on criminal trespass, 1,000 surety on obstruction. Stay away from the incident location, which is the La Quinta Inn at 575 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. Also, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, no new violations. He had already been given a trespass warning on February 8th of 22 from this particular hotel. During his arrest from that location, he pulled away from the officer while he resisted arrest. He also has 5 FTAs and 8 probation violation within all those numerous cycles. That is the reason we're asking for the $4,000 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Gant, good to see you. What is your recommendation?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Guillen's behalf. Mr. Guillen is 31 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 22 years. Your Honor, however, he does not have any family here. He also does not have any family to assist with bond. My client completed high school. We are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Guillen is employed. He states that he just got a job at Planet Fitness, Your Honor. He also informs me that he is residentially challenged. In fact, his belongings are at a hotel room, and he is desperately wanting to be released so that he can retrieve his belongings. We are connecting him to social worker services to secure a better living situation. He denies the allegations. And again, given my client's history, I certainly acknowledge that. However, given the nature of the allegations, I am requesting a signature bond, and we are, again, unopposed to the stay away. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible for a signature bond, then I would ask for the lowest bond possible, as he will not have the resources to pay anything toward bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, the defendant is going to receive a split bond. On the criminal trespass, he's going to receive a $500 surety bond. And then on the willful obstruction, he's going to receive a $500 signature bond for a total of $1,000 total bond. And he is to stay away from the incident location and have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition.
Judge Williams, is that a sign-on bond through the jail?
Yes, through the jail.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything further?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Do not go back to that hotel.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who do we have next?
Position 17, usury.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Usuri. Your case number is 22 CR 003502A, in which you're charged with terroristic threats, a misdemeanor with the offense date of November the 24th of 2020. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Harvey.
Judge, it appears that's another one from felony, so I need one moment.
Okay, we'll go to you, Ms. Mitchell, while Ms. Harvey's doing that.
Okay. Your Honor, in this case, the defendant threatened the mother of his children, Miss Valerie Newkirk, spelled Newkirk, and her sister by stating that, quote, he was going to shoot this place up and, quote, go get his stick, end quote. Miss Newkirk stated that she was leaving her residence through the back door when the defendant was attempting to enter through the front door. She saw the defendant was holding a firearm, yelling and cursing. Your Honor, the state's bond recommendation is going to be a $5,000 surety, no further contact with Miss Newkirk, a stay away from her residence at 2045 Allison Court, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, a one-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Would you like to hear the history before I get into the history
I would.
of pretrial?
Actually, Miss Harvey is returned. So if you have it, Miss Harvey.
Have it, Your Honor. 7
Yes.
cycles, felony conviction from 2010 for theft by receiving stolen property, interference with government property. The last arrest was July 25th, 2021 for driving on without a valid license out of Clayton County. That appears to be an open case. The defendant also appears to be on probation in Fulton County for aggravated assault. Sentenced August 29, 2019 to 6 years probation. In addition, there are at least 3 probation violations in the past 10 years. Nothing further.
So, Your Honor, based on the violent history he has, we're recommending the surety bond. He has the 2 aggravated assault convictions in 2019, which were against officers, but he also has the aggravated assault case that's open from this year where he shot at a woman's apartment with a rifle. He also has the open terroristic threats, the felony terroristic threats that's also open with the same victim on September 26th of 2020, where he threatened to kill her, stating, quote, "I'll shoot you in front of your family and I'm going to kill you." So in addition to that, is there anything else? He also has 10 probation violations. So based on that, we're recommending the surety bond. Thank you.
Ms. McLeod, are you still present? Do you represent this defendant?
Your Honor, I did not get his name at all. I'm sorry.
Mr. Ussery?
Yes, I do represent him, Your Honor.
I
I thought that
Mr.
might have been
Ussery.
him, but I didn't hear his name initially.
Yes,
So I
Ms.
was unsure.
Ussery, I see you're waving your hand. I do not want you to say anything that will interfere with your attorney's ability to represent you. Ms. McLeod, your position?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, he tells me that this was a situation where he was just talking to her on the phone, that they had gotten into an argument, that it wasn't anything significant, that they had got into arguments before. He tells me, Your Honor, that he's not employed right now. He does do odd jobs. He cuts yards and so on. So he's really not in a position to pay a bond, Your Honor. So I would like the court to take that into consideration. I know he does have some history, but he also doesn't make much money. So I would ask the court to consider giving him as low a bond as possible, because I believe the court is not inclined to give him a signature bond based on the nature of what happened.
I would agree, Ms. McLeod. I'm going to accept. I'm sorry, Ms. Mitchell, very briefly. Yes.
Yes, just for the record, the terroristic threats with the same victim, it was indicted under 21 SC 177568. That's it. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to accept the state's recommendation. He's going to receive a $5,000 surety bond. At this time, he's to have no further contact with the victim. I'm going to sound for her at this time. Ms. Newkirk, are you present on the Zoom conference? All right, hearing none, we'll move forward. She's to have no further contact with the victim, last name Newkirk. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and he must stay away from the incident location on Allison Court as a condition of this bond. Is there anything from the state or the defense at this time?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ussery, I see you waving your hand. Please contact Ms. McLeod if you have additional questions. I don't want you to say something to me that may end up being used against you, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because the state is listening. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Mr. Love.
Well done.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Love. Your case is 22 CR 003493D. And once you're charged with theft by taking, simple assault, family violence, hindering a person attempting to make an emergency phone call. I believe those are all your charges, each with the offense date of June the 26th of 2020. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Ms. Harvey?
One moment, Your Honor, I'm searching for the file. He was also with felony as well.
All right, lots of files were at felony
They
today.
were, we had several today, so I'm looking for them now.
I don't mind getting
It's
started.
Datavia's Love, correct, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. There are 9 total cycles, no felony convictions. The last arrest was from September 29, 2016 out of Bibb County for aggressive driving, hit and run, duty of driver to stop at or return to the scene of the accident, and fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. All charges were dismissed as of May 29, 2019. One moment. Nothing further to add, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harvey. Ms. Mitchell. You're muted, Ms. Mitchell.
My apologies. The defendant battered his ex-girlfriend, Miss Justice Stubbs, spelled Stubbs, by raising his fists and stating, assaulted, correction. By raising his fist and stating, quote, "I should knock your head off." The defendant also kept her from calling 911 or making an emergency phone call by taking her phone. Your Honor, the state's recommendation is going to be as follows. Is count 1 is going to be $1,500 surety, count 2, $3,000 surety, count 3, $1,500 surety, totaling a $6,000 surety bond. No further contact with Ms. Stubbs. Stay away from the incident location 18306 Deer Point Court, Milton, Georgia. A 1-day anger awareness course and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Your Honor, the defendant has prior violent history, starting with the open case, his felony case, with simple assault, family violence, false imprisonment, and hindering persons making emergency phone calls. That's with the same victim. In addition to that, he does have a battery arrest in 2015, aggravated assault arrest 2015, and then we also have concerns he may be a flight risk, being that he also has a fleeing arrest in 2016. So based on his history and especially his history with the same victim, we are recommending the $6,000 surety bond. Thank you.
Okay, and just to verify, Ms. Mitchell, the incident date is correct, the 2020. So it's been about 2 years since this incident occurred?
Yes, just about, yes.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. And Officer Harvey, to perfect the record, is he recommended?
Yes, Your Honor, he's recommended.
All right, I wanted to make that clear. Ms. Kim?
Yes, we would like to request for signature on bond as pretrial recommended. This incident happened in 2020. Statute of limitation is just 1 month away. Less than 1 month actually. They are still dating right now. They got over this and they do not stay together. However, they do have a child together, and he has been here in Georgia for the last 32 years, all his life. And he has been driving as a truck driver for the last 7 years. He has a stable job. He graduated from high school, and I believe that he is qualified for a signature on bond for these cases. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I'd like to make note that even though this case was almost 2 years ago, it was just yesterday he did the same thing to the same victim by assaulting her and hindering her from making an emergency call in addition to a false imprisonment. So nothing further. Thank you.
All right, at this time, the defendant is going to receive a $3,000 surety bond. It's going to be $1,500 for the simple assault. And then it will be, okay, I should have done different math. $1,000 for the theft by taking, and then it'll be $500 for the telephone call. So that should be the total of the $3,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim at this time. Please remind me of the victim's last name, Ms. Mitchell.
Stubbs, Stubb.
Is Ms. Stubbs on the Zoom conference? I'm sounding for her at this time. All right, hearing none. All right, we're gonna continue to move forward. He's to stay away from the incident location and to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this surety bond. Is there anything further at this time from
No.
either party?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You're done.
All right.
What was that stairway address again?
18306
Go ahead, Ms. Mitchell.
Deer Point Court, Milton, Georgia.
Thank you.
Next, we have
All right.
position 10, Mr. Hunter.
Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 10, Mr. Hunter.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Hunter. Your case is 22 CR 0034918, in which you're charged with reckless conduct with the offense date of June the 2nd of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's see, hold on a second. All right. Ms. Harvey, can I have the history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Multi-state offender with 3 cycles out of Georgia, 3 cycles out of the state of Tennessee, and 1 arrest in Virginia. 2 FTAs and at least 2 FTAs in the past 10 years. The last arrest was April 27th, 2019 for driving on a suspended or revoked license that was out of Tennessee. That case appears to have been dismissed, Your Honor. Nothing further to add.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant got into an argument with Mr. Derek Morgan while holding a firearm. Mr. Morgan was able to provide video footage to the officers of him holding the firearm. Mr. Morgan stated the defendant fired 3 gunshots in the air. The defendant admitted to officers to firing 2 shots. Your Honor, there's a current bond of $1,500 surety, and the state requests that that bond be increased to $3,000 surety with no further contact with Mr. Morgan, a stay away from the incident location 2153 Burroughs Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, a 1-day anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Our biggest concern here, aside from the fact that this involves a firearm and he fired it, the defendant is also a flight risk, him being that he is a multi-state offender. He doesn't appear to have sufficient ties in Georgia, and he has 2 FTAs, 1 in 2017 in Virginia and 1 in 2019, Tennessee. And we believe next it will be Georgia. So based on that, we are recommending the $3,000 surety bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is this your case, Ms. McLeod?
It is, Your Honor.
Your recommendation.
Your Honor, I'm asking the court to consider giving my client a signature bond for a number of reasons. First of all, he tells me that he was simply trying to protect someone else. He said that the alleged victim's girlfriend got into an argument with his girlfriend in which his girlfriend was pushed and shoved, and he just fired the shots into the air to calm everything down because he wanted to protect her. He didn't want it to escalate any further. Your Honor, he is employed. He tells me he works at Burger King, and he has been working there for a little while. He plans to stay in Atlanta. He has been living in Atlanta for some time now, Your Honor, even though he has been to other states. But he does live in Atlanta, and he's originally from Atlanta.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McLeod. The bond for Mr. Hunter will remain as set at the $1,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Morgan, and must stay away from that address at Burroughs Avenue. And he is to have no weapons, including the subject firearm, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 14, Mr. Moore.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Moore. Your case is 22 CR 0034988Y, in which you're charged with harassing communications with the offense date of April the 16th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Officer Harvey, can I have the history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. One prior arrest from June 10th, 2016 from the state of Colorado for obstruction of a police officer. That was a misdemeanor, and that case was dismissed, Your Honor. Defendant is recommended. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant harassed his ex-girlfriend, Miss Madison Boer, spelled Booher, by calling her approximately 60 times, followed by more phone calls from blocked numbers. The harassing calls were in response to Miss Boer breaking up with the defendant. The state's bond recommendation is going to be a $2,000 surety, no further contact with the victim, Miss Boer. Stay away from the incident location, 5368 Greenland Road, Sandy Springs, Georgia, which is her residence, and no alcohol, drugs, and weapons.
Did you say 60 or 16 for the number of times for the calls?
60 times, approximately 60 times, in addition to more phone calls from block numbers. So really over 60 times he called her. We understand that he doesn't have extensive criminal history, but we are really concerned that he called her that many times in a 24-hour period. And based on that, we're recommending this surety bond out of concern for the victim in this case. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, and did you request a 1-day anger awareness? No.
Well, I left that out, but can we add that, please? A 1-day anger awareness course.
Okay, that's your request. All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Moore is 27 years old, and as he is recommended by pretrial services, we would like to ask for signature on bond because he completely denies the allegation. It's not him who's been calling 60 times. He has been actually getting a lot of harassing phone calls from Ms. Madison Boer, who is his ex-girlfriend. They broke up around October 2021. Even up to a few days ago, he was getting phone calls from her. However, he didn't want to answer the phone. And this incident, he's here because, it happened on April 16, 2022. The phone calls can be probably, the phone could be malfunctioning. I do not know exactly how that could happen, but he is definitely deserve to get signature on bond for this issue. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm gonna sound for the alleged victim, Ms. Boer, at this time. Ms. Boer, if you're present on the Zoom conference, this is your opportunity to speak. All right, hearing none. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to complete a 1-day anger awareness course. He is to have no further contact with the alleged victim, last name Boer, and to stay away from the address on Greenland Drive in Sandy Springs. Is there anything further from either party?
What was the bond amount? I know it was signature through pretrial.
2,000 signature through pretrial.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 2, Mr. Amy.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Amy. Your case is 22 CR 003494C, in which you're charged with simple battery with the offense date of June the 2nd of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Harvey?
21 cycles, Your Honor.
Okay, since there's so many, I'm most interested in violence and FTA's probation violation.
There's a simple assault conviction from 2002 that appears to be the last violent conviction, Your Honor.
Okay.
And probation violation from 2017, which was the last arrest out of Fayette County. Nothing further.
All right, thank you so much. We're gonna go straight to the state then. All right, whose case is this for the state?
It's mine, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Cheney.
The original bond was set at $10,000 surety. However, we're going to requiesce to recommending $5,000 surety bond. He does have, I counted 6 probation violations.
Mr. Cheney, are you still here? Where are you? Oh, we can't see you, Mr. Cheney. That's okay. Keep talking. I just didn't see you on the screen. I'm sorry. There you are.
Your Honor, I'm a 20-year court veteran. I still have problems with technology.
It's all right. That's all right. No problem. Now, you were saying that originally it was supposed to be a $10,000. You were going to recommend a $10,000 surety?
Your Honor,
surety
yeah,
bond?
it was set originally at $10,000, but the state is going to acquiesce to lowering that to a $5,000 surety bond. The defendant that's because the defendant and victim were neighbors. Actually, it's not a domestic violence type situation. The altercation was over money. The defendant grabbed the victim's book bag and then eventually punched her with a fist. Although no visible injuries were noted in the warrant, he did strike her in the face with a closed fist. We would ask no contact with the victim, an AA class 1 day through pretrial, no weapons, no drugs, alcohol, no new violations of Georgia law. The incident location is 115 Bay Street in Fairburn, which is Fulton County. I'm not sure by the warrant or the report who lives there, which neighbor lives there, but the no contact provision should satisfy since they're not living together. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm sorry, the victim's name again?
The victim's name in this case, that's on the wrong sheet. I'll have it for you in just a second, Your Honor.
All right, we will go ahead and go to Ms. Gant. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rucky Amy is 60 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area since the 1970s. He has family here, including children and a brother. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. My client has a different address. Your Honor, Mr. Amy completed the 11th grade. He is disabled at this time and has been so since 2013. Prior to becoming disabled, he was self-employed as a mechanic, and he also did landscaping. Your Honor, he denies the allegations, and I would ask the court to consider a signature bond on Mr. Amy's behalf. According to the pretrial report that I received, he is recommended. I acknowledge my client's history. However, the last conviction for violence that I heard is 2002, which is over 20 years ago. His last arrest, of course, Your Honor, was 2017. According to the warrant, Your Honor, the witness did not see how this incident started. She observed mutual combat. However, my client states that he denies making any contact with her whatsoever. He denies that there was any physical altercation on either party's part. He did tell me that the complaining witness, Ms. Jocelyn Moore, stole money from him. Your Honor, this is a simple battery charge. I do believe that a $5,000 bond is excessive. Again, he does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. There were no visible injuries. And frankly, there is no witness that my client was the initial aggressor, Your Honor. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible eligible, then the lowest bond possible. And we are unopposed to the no contact order. And I misspoke. There is no request for stay away. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Officer Harvey, just to clarify, I do want to make it clear, is he recommended?
Yes, Your Honor.
He is recommended. All right, at this time, he's going to receive the $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to complete the one-day anger awareness course. He is to have no further contact with the victim and to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond.
Your Honor, for the
All right.
record, the victim's first name is spelled Jocelyn. So it's a kind of a different spelling, and the last name is normal spelling for Moore.
All right, and I am going to sound for Ms. Moore at this time, if she is present on the Zoom conference, which I do not believe she is. All right, best of luck to you, sir. We will move to the next position. What do we have next?
Position 5, Mr. Byrd.
All right, Mr. Byrd, we've already heard the facts of this case as he was the co-defendant case. Mr. Byrd, your case is 22 CR 003490J, charged with 1 count of battery family violence and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree with the offense dated June the 2nd. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Harvey, can I have his history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Total of 16 cycles. The last arrest was from 2007 out of DeKalb County. There was a battery, family violence, and disorderly conduct. There was a no-low plea on the battery, family violence. Just make sure there's no other violence. That was the last arrest and appears to be the last thing for last violent history, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. All right, whose case is this for the state?
Your Honor, what position was this? I think I may have misheard.
Position 5.
Oh, that's not my position. I believe it's
Mr. Cheney, it's you.
I'm back, Your Honor. I keep getting kicked off Zoom today for some reason.
That's all right, Mr. Cheney. We're on position 5, Mr. Byrd, and we'd like the state's recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor, because Mr. Byrd does have 17 cycles, and because the injuries on the co-defendant were worse, she basically suffered injuries to her teeth and lips. Would be a $4,000 total bond, $3,000 surety on battery, family violence, $1,000 surety on cruelty to children 3rd degree, no contact, AA 1 day class, stay away from instant location, no weapons, no alcohol, drugs, no new violations.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ramondo Byrd is 57 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has family here, including children who are all grown. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at 464 Boulevard. My client informs me that he moved out. However, I am requesting a one-time law enforcement escort as he believes that he has some belongings that are there. My client informs me that he would like to continue having contact with Ms. Kegler, so I am requesting a no violent contact order. However, we will defer to the court's ruling, as Your Honor has already ruled in the complaining witness's case. Your Honor, Mr. Byrd completed 12th grade. He has 1 year of college in the area of accounting. He is self-employed. He denies the allegations, Your Honor, and my client has injuries as well. And since the complaining witness was also arrested, it's unclear who the primary aggressor was. My client certainly denies being the primary aggressor. He states that he was merely acting in self-defense. My client is recommended for a signature bond according to the report that I received. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond. Again, I would ask for a no violent contact order. And if Your Honor orders a stay away, then a one-time law enforcement escort. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, Mr. Byrd is going to receive a $2,500 surety bond. It'll be $2,000 on the battery, $500 on the cruelty to children. And the third, he is to have no contact with the cross defendant at this time. It can be revisited at the SAP calendar on the 16th. He is to stay away from the incident location, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items he may have at that location.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. We can move to the next position at this time.
Position 4, Brown.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. Your case is 22 CR 003489Y, on which you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yeah, ma'am.
Ms. Harvey?
Defendant has 2 cycles, Your Honor. The last arrest was theft by shoplifting from 2017. No disposition listed. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Cheney?
Your Honor, bond recommendation, $3,000 surety bond, no contact with victim, stay away from instant location, no weapons, drug, alcohol, no new violations. They have a child together, lived together in the past. Argument ensued over text messages, became physical. Defendant drug vehicle from the vehicle by her hair, causing her head to strike the ground. Law enforcement did not notice any injuries from the victim hitting the ground. The victim is on the line. She has stated she does not fear the defendant, that it's never happened before. She wants contact. She also said there were no injuries when the hair was pulled from her head. And I believe I saw her on Zoom. That is our case.
What's her name? The name of the alleged victim?
The alleged victim is Trevania Norwood. Miss Norwood.
She's on the line, Judge. I see her name.
All right. And what was the incident location, Mr. Cheney?
The incident location, Your Honor, was 2392 Baywood Drive, Southeast Atlanta.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. A.C. Brown is 23 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. As we heard from the state, Mr. Brown does share a 2-year-old daughter with the complaining witness, Ms. Norwood. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at the incident location. We are also requesting that your order a no violent contact order. I had the occasion to speak with Ms. Norwood. She wants to continue having contact with Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown completed high school. He also has about 1.5 years of college credits in the area of sports medicine. He is currently employed at Amazon. However, Your Honor, he has been in that position for the past 2 weeks. And prior to that, he was basically marginally employed. Therefore, he does not have the means to pay much, if anything, toward bond. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Brown's behalf. He denies the allegations, Your Honor, and according to the warrant, he had scratches that were visible on his person, Your Honor. Again, in closing, just the surety, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Brown's behalf. The report that I received states that he is recommended. I would ask for no violent contact and no stay away. And if Your Honor decides to order a no contact and stay aways, I would ask for third-party transfer for the children and a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve any belongings. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gant. This time, Ms. Norwood, if you would like to make a statement, the court will hear from you. I'll need to swear you in, so you need to unmute your screen. Please raise your right hand if you'd like to make a statement. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Say yes, ma'am.
All right, what would you like to tell the court at this time?
He's not a bad person. We just had a disagreement, a misunderstanding at the time. And we actually rode around and talked about what we were going through. And we were on the way home with our daughter at the time he was detained.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the court? That's all?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you. Anything further from either party?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Just, Your Honor, that we would ask for that the no violent contact order and that Your Honor not issue a stay away.
All right. As this incident just happened yesterday, I'm inclined to order those, Ms. Kent, at this time, just because I don't believe that there's been a sufficient cooling off period, but I believe that's something that could be addressed at a later date. I'm inclined to give him the signature bond at this time, but issue the no contact and have that addressed further. Does he have somewhere that he could stay? Does he have sufficient contact and relatives here within the community, Ms. Gant?
He does have family here, Your Honor. However, I did not inquire about whether he has an alternate address. May you clarify that, Mr. Brown?
I do.
Okay. I'm gonna give Mr. Brown the signature bond through pretrial. I'm gonna require that he do the courses. So at this time, Mr. Brown's gonna receive the $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. He needs to take the 1-day anger awareness course. And as I said, I don't believe there's been a sufficient cooling off period. So at this time, he is to have no contact with the victim, and he is to stay away from the incident location. He can arrange transport of the children or visitation of the children through a third party for now. And he can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items, and this can be revisited at a later date. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir.
Position
What do we have?
18,
What do we have
Mr.
next?
Webb. Position 18, Mr. Webb.
All right, Mr. Braggs, your case is 22 CR 003488D, and what you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of June 2nd, 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Can you state that case again, please?
Your case number, sir? Yes, of course. Your
The-
case number is
Or
22.
the charge and the
Yes.
accused name.
Sure. Your case is 22 CR 003488D, and you're charged with criminal trespass. And the offense date or the date on which it occurred was June the 2nd of 2022 or yesterday. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
I understand my rights, Your Honor, but this is not my case.
Okay. Are you Cameron Braggs?
No, this is
No, Your
position
Honor.
18, Mr. Webb.
Okay. I thank you for clarifying that. Okay. Your case number is 22 CR 003501J, in which you're charged with driving an unattended vehicle. Does that sound more correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. With the offense date of May the 18th of 2022. All right. Ms. Harvey, can I have the history, please?
This is the first arrest, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor, the defendant struck a vehicle of Mr. Kyung, spelled Kyung, Suk, spelled Suko, spelled OH, while pulling into a parking space at a business located at 10945 Medlock Bridge Road, Johns Creek, Georgia. The defendant, once he hit Mr. O's vehicle, he entered the business without providing Mr. O his name and address. The defendant's wife attempted to give Mr. O $100 for the damage, but Mr. O refused. And then they left the store again without providing any information. And Your Honor, in this case, we're recommending a $3,000 signature bond. Nothing further. Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, we have no objection about $3,000 signature on bond.
Okay.
Is it from through the jail, right?
I'm sure that was the state's recommendation. I'm confused as to what happened, but okay. Did Mr. Webb surrender himself to the jail? That's how we all arrived here today?
No, Mr. O ended up calling the cops after they left.
Actually, there's a misunderstanding because the information was actually exchanged, and also his auto insurance company has already filed, they already took care of the case. There's a claim process. So I think there's a huge misunderstanding in terms of what's going on here.
Okay, I'll grant the $3,000 signature bond to the jail, and I'm still gonna grant no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition.
No problem, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. All right, that will conclude your case, Mr. Webb. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position 3, Mr. Braggs.
Okay. All right, Mr. Braggs, I read your case number earlier. Your case number is 22 CR 003488D, and you're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
Ms. Harvey, can I have his history, please?
Yes, Your Honor. 17 cycles out of the state of Georgia, 5 cycles out of Tennessee.
Okay.
2019 conviction out of Fulton County for criminal trespassing. Also, an additional 2019 conviction for criminal trespassing and theft by taking misdemeanor. A 2019 disorderly conduct out of Fulton County. In addition, there does appear to be several open cases, Your Honor. Theft by taking misdemeanor with an arrest date of February 4th, 2019. There's a theft by taking 2 counts, obstruction of a law enforcement officer, simple battery, and disorderly conduct with an arrest date of March 3rd, 2019. That's on a case number 22 SC 180868. There's a criminal trespass case that appears to be open with an arrest date of March 4th of this year. An additional criminal trespass case that's open with an arrest date of March 16th of 2021. And the last arrest was May 25th of this year for criminal trespass out of Fulton County. That's open as well, Your Honor. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Whose case is this for the state? This is Mr. Cheney.
I believe if it is Bragg, it is Mr. Cheney's case. But if he is unavailable, because I know there were some issues with the video, I am more than happy to step in.
We can wait a few moments, Ms. Falk,
Yes, Your
if
Honor.
you prefer, or I think
It looks like he dropped off Zoom again. Oh, no, he's back.
He's here, Mr. Cheney. All right, as it's Friday, and I'm sure that people are interested in us moving along. Ms. Falk, if you would not mind just this once giving us the state's position.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on June 2nd at approximately 2:56 a.m. over at the Embassy Suites Hotel. Mr. Braggs was seen standing near the door of the hotel arguing with security as he had been asked to leave the property. He had been given a criminal trespass warrant from the hotel several times by multiple different officers. And according to the staff over the Embassy Suites, he's known to sneak into the hotel and find a place to sleep either in the lobby or in the restroom. He also refuses to leave every time he's asked to do so by a staff member of that hotel. And so the state would be asking for a $2,000 surety bond at this time. We are asking that he stay away from the Embassy Suites Hotel. The address is 3285 Peachtree Road in Atlanta, Georgia. We also ask that he have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The state's main concern here is that this has been an ongoing issue, and Mr. Bragg's history is getting to be quite lengthy, including previous criminal trespasses back in, it looks like, March of 2022, April of 2022, May of 2022, and now this event.
All right.
Your Honor, I apologize. The Zoom is kicking me off every 5 minutes. And
Oh,
right,
no.
when I
All
was
right.
right when I was telling you my recommendation, it spins off and comes back on. I apologize.
No problem. Ms. Falk stepped in. All
That's
right.
why I
So
like to have court in person, Judge.
I understand. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cameron Braggs is 25 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 4 years. He does not have any family here, Your Honor. He is residentially challenged, and we are connecting him with services to help remedy some of his issues with housing. We are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Braggs completed high school. He also has an associate's degree in business. However, Your Honor, Mr. Braggs has been unemployed since 2018. He tells me that he was injured back in 2016 from a car accident from which he never recovered. He does not have the means to pay anything toward bond, Your Honor. He also is in the process of applying for disability for injuries arising from the motor vehicle accident. Your Honor, I acknowledge my client's history. However, he just does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. I am asking that you consider a signature bond, and if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond for the lowest amount possible. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Braggs is going to receive a $500 surety bond based upon the information before me, and he must stay away from the Embassy Suites on Peachtree Road. And he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that surety bond.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, who do we have next?
Position 15, Murray.
All right, sir, your case number is 22 CR 003499E, and what's your charge with fare evasion with the offense date of June the 2nd? Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Harvey.
11 cycles, Your Honor, at least 2 FTAs in the past 10 years.
Okay.
2009 conviction, DUI conviction. The last arrest was May 1st, 2022 for possession of a Schedule I controlled substance out of Smyrna, Georgia. There's no disposition. That case appears to be open, Your Honor. There's also an open case out of Fulton County for simple battery as well, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor. After further discussion with Ms. Kim, we understand that the defendant is willing to take a time-served plea at this time.
Okay. And Ms. Kim, the public defender's office is going to assist.
No, Your Honor. It would be pro se, Your Honor.
Okay. Now my question is, how will we assist Mr. Murray with getting plea paperwork completed at this time, Ms. Mitchell?
We're working on it.
Your Honor, if I may, normally we have a contact person over the jail who will accept the paperwork. So if I could request that the jail give me the name of someone to email that to. I am working on the paperwork now as Ms. Mitchell just received the information that he is entering a plea.
Okay. So is it possible that we come back to Mr. Murray at the end so that we can get that paperwork over to him? And I take his plea as the very last position at the jail to make sure that that takes place? Is that possible at courtroom 2?
Yes, that's good.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, can we go to?
Come on, Mr.
There
Hines.
aren't that.
Position 8, Mr. Hines.
All right, I know there aren't that many other positions left. So we'll come back and take that plea shortly. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Hines. Your case is 22 CR 00349. F, in which you're charged with simple battery with the offense date of May the 12th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Harvey.
One prior arrest, Your Honor, from September 6, 2021 for aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. That is an open case, Your Honor. That's on the case number 22 SC 182450. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Mr. Cheney.
That is not my case, Your Honor.
Oh, it's not. Ms. Mitchell.
This is position 8.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not my case. It should be Mr. Cheney.
No one wants to take position 8 today.
Let me double check that.
And Your Honor, that means a signature bond.
Is this, what is the finished name again?
It is Jaquavius Hines.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Miss Mitchell. That is mine. State's recommendation, $3,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim. AA, stay away from instant location, no drugs, alcohol, no new violations. The defendant and victim were living together. Victim accused defendant of cheating, eventually slapped victim, slammed her to the ground. No visible injuries noted by law enforcement, except the victim's shirt was ripped and torn. The victim is supposed to be on Zoom today. Her name is Jalea Rowell, Jalia, last name Rowell. She said she is on Zoom. She has no fear of the defendant and regrets calling the police.
And the state's, I see Ms. Rowell is on Zoom, so I'll sound for her later. So the state's position is that there should be no contact at this time. Do you have an address? I'm sorry for the incident location.
We do, Your Honor. It's 1646 Evans Drive, Southwest Atlanta.
Okay. All right, Ms. Gant.
Your Honor, is the state requesting a stay away?
Is it Mr. Cheney? Is the
Yes,
state
we did
requesting
ask for a
away?
stay away and for no contact. Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jaquavius Hines is 20 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has a 3-year-old that he shares with the complaining witness, Ms. Rowell. Your Honor, I am opposed to the stay away. Your Honor, it is my understanding that both parties live at the incident location and that both names are on the lease. Mr. Hines informs me that he pays the bills in that home and that Ms. Rowell relies upon him for other instances of financial support. Mr. Hines completed high school. He also completed studies in, well, he actually was a freshman and he studied criminal justice, Your Honor. He is self-employed as a tattoo artist. However, he informs me that that business is not profitable, Your Honor. I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Hines' behalf. I acknowledge my client's history. However, I did not hear about any convictions. What I heard about are open cases, and Your Honor, he is presumed innocent in any open cases as well as this case. He denies the allegations. And again, we are unopposed to any no contact orders. We are also opposed to the stay away, as I had the occasion to speak to Ms. Rowell by phone. She wants to continue having contact with Mr. Hines. Now, if Your Honor determines that my client is not eligible for a signature bond, I would ask for a bond for this simple battery case of no more than $1,000. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, I will hear from Ms. Rowell if she would like to make a statement, but you're not required to do so. If you would like to, please unmute your screen and I'll need to swear you in.
Okay, I'm here.
Please raise your right hand. You swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what would you like to tell the court at this time?
Yes, ma'am. I would just like to state that the situation was not as serious as I portrayed. I did call out of anger. I was extremely afraid that like Jaquavia stated, that he is the main provider of the home, and that we do share a 3-year-old, and I'm young as well. And it was just a lot of emotions. He's the provider of the family. He's not a violent person. And as I think the general stated, that I did call the precinct maybe 20 times. I called Detective Brownie trying to drop the charges. I never wanted it to get to this extent. And that's pretty much it, that he's not a violent person, and that I do not want anything else outside of this to happen. He's suffered enough.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you making that statement. Anything further from either the state or the defense at this time?
Nothing from the defense, other than my client denies the allegations, if I did not state that earlier.
Yes, Ms. Gant, thank you. Mr. Cheney?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, the defendant is gonna receive the $3,000 surety bond as recommended by the state. He is to have no further contact with the victim. For now, that can be revisited at the SAP calendar on the 16th. And he is to stay away from the incident location. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get whatever items he may have. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
Yes, Your Honor, third-party transfer.
Yes, and he can arrange third-party transfer of the children. And again, visitation and contact can be revisited at the SAP calendar.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, really quickly, the plea on Mr. Nicholas, my apologies. Let me just make sure I have the last name right. Mr. Nicholas Murray's case, we have sent the plea work to Alton Norris, who was our contact last time, but I just want to confirm with the jail that Mr. Norris is there today to.
No, he's not. We sent another address. The address is Anthony Matthews.
Okay. So you want me to send it to Mr. Matthews?
Yes.
Okay, I will do so right now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, is that gonna conclude? Is there another position at the jail?
No, this is the last case for position 15, Mr. Murray.
All right, I'm gonna start taking his plea because it appears that.
Your Honor, I'm sorry for interruption. However, we do have one waiver of appearance.
Yes, yes. I mean, I understand that one is there. I meant so that we could excuse courtroom too.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take the plea.
Guilty.
Wait a minute, before we do that, I have to ask you some questions, Mr. Murray.
Okay.
Right? All right, Mr. Murray, your case is 22 CR 003499E, in which you're charged with fare evasion with the offense date of June the 2nd of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have a right to an attorney today, but you're waiving your right to an attorney and you're appearing and representing yourself?
Yes.
And you understand, has anyone promised you or anything or in exchange for taking a plea today?
No.
Did anyone give you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No.
And do you admit that you committed the charges of which you have been accused?
Yes.
Do you admit that this took place in Fulton County?
Yes.
And do you admit that it was actually you that was accused of committing this crime?
Yes.
And do you admit that by pleading guilty today that you're giving up your right to go to court later?
Yes.
And you're waiving your right to have the state prove these charges against you. Had you gone to court, the state would have had to prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. And you're giving up that right.
Yes.
And you understand that if you have any open cases, by pleading guilty to that, that may have a negative effect on any open cases you may have.
Yeah.
And you don't wish to seek the advice of an attorney and plead guilty to this at a later date?
No, I don't.
All right, as to the charge of fare evasion in case number 22 CR 3499E. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And Ms. Mitchell, will you please put the requirements? There's going to be a time served plea. Are there any other requirements?
No,
As
just
to the
credit for
sentence?
time served, 2
All
days.
right. So you serve 2 days in the Fulton County Jail. The 2 days that you serve will close out your case. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I accept your plea of guilty at this time. This should conclude your case. Please make sure that the paperwork that you will receive and sign at the jail gets sent back to us here at the court. All right. Without that paperwork, you will not be able to get out of jail.
Okay.
All right. And if you don't have any other holds, you should be released shortly.
Okay.
All right. I believe that that should complete our business at courtroom 2.
Yes, we actually got the paperwork now. We're working on it, Judge.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to that breakout position, I believe, that Ms. Kim requested. Is that position? Now, position 6, is there an announcement for position 6?
Your Honor, it's a bind over. Oh,
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Do we still need to wait, Matthews, for the paperwork, or we're good? Do we still need, are we completed here in courtroom 2, or do we need to wait for the paperwork?
I would prefer if we could get that paperwork back and then courtroom 2 would be completed.
Okay, no problem.
All right. We can go, if we could go to the break. Ms. Kim, you were requesting a breakout for position 13?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Jordan, if I could be put into a breakout, it would be.
I got it. It's Katrina. I got it.
Okay.
Who's all going into the breakout?
It'll be Miss Kim, I believe Miss Mitchell, Miss Falk. I'm not sure who else needs to go in.
Yeah, and see, this will not misdemeanors.
I do not need to be included in the breakout, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, Mr. James Merkel at position 13 will receive a $2,000 surety bond. He will undergo evaluations as discussed in the breakout room, and he will have no alcohol, drugs, and weapons as a condition of his bond. I believe that completes our entire calendar.
Your Honor, are we adding a stay away and no further?
Oh, yes. He must
Well,
stay
the-
away from the incident location and have no further contact with the victims. Ms. Mitchell, if you could put those onto the record again for us.
Yes, no further contact with Elena, spelled Alaina Wagner, and a stay away from incident location 1075 Tuxedo Drive, Roswell, Georgia. Thank you.
All right, I believe that concludes that entire calendar. Can we confirm that we have the plea paperwork? Or that it was
It
sent?
was sent to the email address indicated. I believe courtroom 2. Oh, they just sent it back to me.
All right, courtroom 2 can be excused. And Mr. Jordan, will you review the calendar for us?
And Ms. Falk, make sure you send that paperwork to Mr. Jordan, please.
I have done so.
Thank you.
I don't want it. Position 1 is a $5,000 sign-on bond jail. Position 2 is a $5,000 sign-on bond pretrial. Position 3 is a $500 surety reset to the SAP calendar June the 16th. Position 4 is a $3,000 sign-on bond pretrial. Position 5 is a $2,500 surety bond reset SAP. Position 6, that's going to be reset to the 6/16/22 SAP. It was a bond over count case. Position 7 is a $1,000 split bond, was a $500 surety on a criminal trespass, and a $500 sign-on bond jail for the willful obstruction. Reset SAP. Position 8 is a $3,000 surety bond, reset SAP. Position 9 is a $4,000 sign-on bond pretrial. Position 10 is a $1,500 surety bond, reset SAP. Position 11 was a $4,000 sign-on bond pretrial. Position 12 is a $3,000 surety bond, reset SAP. Position 13 is a $2,000 surety bond, reset SAP. Position 14 is a $2,000 sign-on bond pretrial. Position 15 is a time-served plea. Position 16 is a $4,000 surety bond, reset SAP. Position 17 is a $5,000 surety, reset SAP. And position 18 is a $3,000 sign-on bond through the jail.
Any comments, changes, questions, or corrections? Hearing none, we will be in recess until tomorrow at 2 p.m. Everyone enjoy the rest of their weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Judge.